4.
It's
It's
it
4.
is 5. All right, let's go and share. Okay. Okay. Oh.
I heard you.
Hey y'all.
Hey, girl.
Hey, hey. Okay. So, you know how we usually come on here, we have a little bit of time to get ourselves together, have some, decompression type of conversation, and we were running a little behind. Everyone's had their moments today. Their
Oh my
moments.
goodness, have we had our moments today?
We have had our moments today. Who wants to go first?
About
About our
their moments?
Well, I'll go first. So I do wrap my hair. I will wrap. I will throw a good head wrap on for any occasion. I love to do that. Today, however, I was touching up my hair, doing some dyeing to it. Yes, and
Mom, that's the first time I'm hearing this.
You haven't even got to hear about our days, girl.
yeah. So what happened was everything was looking really good. And then I washed it all out and turned around. There was some patches in the back that had not dyed properly. So I called my FaceTime. I'm like, yeah, look. She's like, oh, good. It looks nice, and you cut it and everything. And then I turned the camera to the back, and she's like,
Well,
oh,
she said I messed up a little bit, and I said, "How?" And then she goes like this. I said, "Oh."
I'm trying to figure out why I didn't get a call.
you were at work.
Oop.
See?
No, but when was this? What time of day was
Yeah,
this?
like
This was
two,
like 4
3,
o'clock,
4. Okay.
4:30.
Yeah.
It could have called. It's definitely still could have called.
So that was her day. It was giving leopard. It is still giving leopard under the green wrap.
It is definitely giving leopard. So, well, you know
But
what?
she did like minus that though. She ate down like
Wait,
I
minus that
but you said it's only bad in the back, right?
thing and was cutting
the
it. It was
side and the back. She couldn't laugh. Like if she turned her head to laugh, you was gonna see it.
so, but guess what? I'm not going to be able to dye it back to my natural hair color or close to, because that is even more complicated than taking it to blonde. So I researched. I would definitely have to go to a colorist. So what I'm going to end up doing, what I'm going to have to do, which is what I was supposed to do in the very beginning. If you don't remember, I was supposed to take it down to the skin and I chickened out. I'm
You're gonna
probably,
do that?
Mhm.
Oh, that's news to me, honey.
Yeah,
Well, good thing it's not about to be cold outside.
that after. Yeah. So that was it's been a day. It's been a day.
Yeah. And just long story short, so we can get started. My day, I was with my friend Mame. I don't even want to talk about it. It still hurts a little bit, but we were supposed to get Beyonce tickets today, and she was 1,000 in a queue of 40,000 people, which is very lucky. We got in, and she had a user error and fumbled the tickets, and now the tickets are like crazy expensive, and the tickets were fumbled, and it's not her fault. The Ticketmaster is like literally like predatory. And this anyways, it's just crazy. So we're gonna try again. We're gonna try again tomorrow. And we're gonna try again the day after that, and then we're never gonna stop trying. But we could have been fine today. We'll be outside of the stadium 30 minutes before it starts waiting for people to sell their tickets. But
Oh no. Y'all gonna go out bad. That's what this sounds like. So Kai, how was your day?
My day was fine. I mean, It wasn't nothing like crazy for real that happened. Just the rushing up until this. That was the crazy moment. That 30
Yeah.
minutes was crazy.
Okay.
I feel like I had a crazy
Yeah, I
night.
believe it.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
that's
So we got
crazy.
that all out the way. Let's begin. Let's get it
All
started.
right, y'all, let's get started.
Okay. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Silver Cocoon Pod.
Silver Cocoon Podcast.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
I am your host, Kaya.
And I'm your host, Maya Ma'at.
And I am your co-host, the other host, the third host, LaShanta Ife.
Okay.
Okay, and we are jumping into episode 3 today, which is Love in the Algorithm, How Social Media Shapes Relationships, Friendships, and Self-Worth.
Love in
And
the
this is episode 3 of season 2. Yes,
season.
Love
Love
in
in
the
the
Algorithm.
algorithm.
Kind of on brand with Valentine's Day. Do y'all see what we did there?
Mm-hmm. So how y'all feel? Y'all social media friendly or not?
No.
I think everybody knows I'm not.
Yeah, you're not.
I don't think that.
No, I love social.
Like,
I love it, and I'm very good at it, but I don't like it. I know it's the enemy.
okay, but
It's my like it's something I know I don't like, and it's not good for society, but I happen to like it anyway. So I wouldn't say I'm friendly. Friendly would mean I'm here for it. I'm not here for it.
is that what you mean by social media friendly? Well, okay, I guess I don't know. I don't think I'm social media.
That
I
you're
don't
right.
think the way
Yeah.
you said or the way that I was thinking. I don't think I'm either. So just know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you are either. So maybe we don't have a balance. We don't have objective views in here today. I guess for the sake of it, I'll be the social media friendly one here.
I was about to say, out of the three of us, probably would be you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's definitely you.
But it's just like for this episode, it still can be pretty objective because essentially we're going to be getting into how social media is a place where love is found, love is lost, and sometimes never real to begin with. Let's get into that. So we're just going to talk about how it's shaping our hearts, our friendships, and how we see ourselves today. And I feel like that can be pretty objective.
Yeah, it is. It
Yes,
is.
yes,
I
yes.
still think I'm going to lean probably on one side of the spectrum here because I don't social media.
Yeah,
Yeah. And it's interesting because here we are on social media with our
on
podcast.
social media. Exactly. So can you really be that anti?
Well, okay, so well, when it comes to doing things, I mean, you don't necessarily have to love it though, still, but it's a social media era. This is a social media time period. So, in order to be successful in certain things, you just kind of have to be on social media. So, you don't really have a choice. You don't really have a choice, kind of, when it comes to if you want to reach. I mean, everybody's on social media. That's where a lot of people.
If you have a business, you kind of got to be on social
You got to
media,
be on social
unfortunately, and
media.
that's yeah, it's crazy. So,
I
but today we're kind of
want to accept that. Like that's a part. I know a lot of people who are not on social media, whose lives do not revolve.
You don't
around.
have to accept that.
Your life
What's
doesn't
crazy? Like side story, I used to.
Hold on. I'm finished.
Oh.
I know a lot of people who are not on social media, whose lives do not revolve around social media, and they are very successful. Like it does. You don't have to, and I think
You don't
that's
have to.
we're all feeding into the only way that we're going to be successful, the only way we're going to get exposure, the only way that we're going to be have any progress in our careers and our passions is if we get on social media. But we do know, we'll get into this a little later, that it's designed to make you feel that way. Like it's literally designed to make you feel that you have to give it the bulk of your attention in order to be successful, in order to feel validated, in order all of that. It's designed to make you feel that way.
Yeah, that's true. And I guess maybe we'll have another episode where we can get more into like the business aspect of social media.
Yeah.
Because today We're just talking about, social
Relationship.
media, relationships, its effect on love. Like, we're just going to get into a couple things. Are we more connected or more alone than ever with social media? How real is that? Is that an illusion? Just like the science of relationships and the science behind social media and how it affects relationships. We're going to get into talking about, does the algorithm like manipulate our emotions and our choices? Does social media manipulate your self-worth? You know, we'll be talking about those types of things. So
So in terms of relationships, just not love, we're talking about friendships as well. So just
Right.
how we are
exactly.
social beings on social media. Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many types of relationships that we have on social media
Mhm.
and that have basis there. Even the ones in real life still have a social media aspect as well.
So how does social media influence what we're attracted to? Are we choosing who we love and who we like based on what's put in front of us, or just from our natural organic interaction?
I'm not letting social
I'll let
media.
somebody go.
Yeah, I'm not letting social media influence what I'm attracted to. I mean, I may
Okay,
be.
girl, what you attracted to? You stood hard on that.
No, I'm just saying, like, and I don't have a type. So it's just like, I definitely feel like it's just like an interaction type of thing, but I'm not gonna be drawn to, ooh, like how you look online, like, or what you're showing online. Like, none of that ever really like excites me, because I also know that a lot of that it's fake. So I'm
Mhm.
not gonna sit here and get caught up in what I see, because a lot of people, that's what you see, and then when you meet them, it ain't even all that. So,
It's not.
and they might be cute. I mean, yeah, you can find somebody attractive, but then even with the whole catfishing thing, hey, this Face App and Facetune and men be using it too. Everybody be using it. So I'm not about to sit here and be judging nobody up how they look on social media, because baby, you might not even look like that in person.
That's extremely valid.
And I think that goes for also not just individuals, but trends.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So there's a lot of advertising dollars that are pumped into social media. And the algorithms are designed to connect you to their form of making money. However they're going to get you there, they're going to get you there. So they're going to, tap into what you like, what you're looking at, and then give you what they think will draw you to spend, basically.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
however that, and so when we understand that it's curated basically based on those principles, then everything we
They're
are,
putting people in front of us too.
exactly, people,
Mhm.
trends, they're all of the same, to be able to get us to do what it wants us to do. And it's always follow the money. Always follow the money.
And
I don't know.
Blue's comments kind of fed off of what you just said.
What did she say?
Yeah, I don't.
Social media has
She's
her feeling like she got to get a BBL, and my man got to buy me 1,000 roses for my birthday. Very much bandwagon energy. Had to catch myself.
Yeah,
And
we're
not
getting
only,
into literally all that today.
yeah, we are. And not only that, but you need to also show other people that this is what's happening, that you have this,
Yeah.
look like this, that this is what someone is doing for you. Hey,
But
Teresa.
this question made me think about something. Like, I don't think I've ever looked at social media as a dating tool. Like,
No,
never. Like, never. And I just thought about that driving, because when we had this talk, I said, dang, am I like, I haven't thought, I don't go on there looking for men. I don't go on my DMs thinking I'm gonna get a date. I think I'm old school. Like, you really got to catch me outside. Like,
catch
you
me
really got
outside.
to catch me outside,
Thank you.
because it just like, I don't even post pictures like, oh, maybe I'll get a boyfriend. Like, I've never thought in my
Nope,
head that I would like
nope.
meet somebody on social media. Never. And that's crazy. So maybe we need to have a guest on this episode or something.
So I guess
We're
we're
all
all
nope.
leaning to in
We're
this
like,
direction. We're leaning. Yeah, we're way on the other side here. I'm pleased with, the way that you guys see social media or the position that it plays in your life. I'm very pleased. I do know, though, that there are a lot of people who are on social media to do what they would have been doing in, social interactions outside of media.
Right.
A
Which
lot
why would
of,
they not?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Meeting people,
Dang.
hooking up, building networks, and that's what's happening. That's what's happening
Yeah.
everywhere. I wonder, like, if we're old school, are we kind of missing out?
That's what I just said. Am I missing out? Should I have been posting for the men? What is going on? I post for the girlies and the girlies only. Like, is it too many bikini pictures? Like, do I need to
No, I don't think so. I think that you'd have to wade through a lot more toxic
You think so though?
this yeah.
But you know what? You know what? And this is because our we have, one of our things we're going to talk about is, have we ever fallen for somebody based off their online presence? And I think that's important to add right here, because I think someone's online presence can tell you a lot about them, a lot about them,
It
Absolutely.
a
can.
lot.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely. And I think I fall on the other side of that, where the online presence has actually made me fall out of interest. Then, like, because you meet somebody somewhere, you're having some conversations, da da da, and then you get to see the types of things that they post, the people that they're interacting with, um,
Hmm.
what they think is important to show the world. And I take that stuff seriously. So I'm like, I'm getting to see what's in your mind, what you feel is important to put out there in terms of your beliefs and your likes and your
What you're
dislikes.
projecting, yeah.
I've seen some stuff and I'm like, oh, what's that SpongeBob meme? Where he's like, I'm gonna head out now.
I'm a head out. Man, it's like, for me it'd be the angles. I'm looking to see your angles, to see just, because why are you taking a selfie like that? Like, what's going on here? Like, it can tell me if there's a mental illness there, like, truthfully.
my
By the way
apologies.
that somebody takes pictures,
What?
by the way somebody takes pictures, you could tell how their mental state is. Men.
Mental
Men.
illness? That is a very strong statement to make. How someone takes a picture? I don't know how.
The
I don't know how I feel about
For
that.
men, for men, for
Okay,
men.
well, break it down. Give us an example, because
I don't know. It's a radar for me. Like, you could tell something's off. Like, well, first of all, actually, let's actually maybe
mental
talk about how
illness.
you looked at someone's. You clocked one of my ex's mental illnesses off of their Instagram, did you not? Based on the way they took pictures.
Mental illness is a strong word. Let's just say that I was able to see some red flags. Okay,
But it
mental
turned
illness
out, but did it
is
not manifest to be a mental illness for real though? It
no,
did.
that's just the red flag. And you're right. You can tell. You can absolutely tell. You know,
So maybe we'll just say red flags. We'll say red
yeah,
flags.
red flag, please. Whew. Let
I'm
me get
having some lighting issues, so just
okay.
letting that.
Okay.
Okay, what is Blue saying? She is saying, see, that's what I wanted to ask. If I see someone getting a treatment that I want in a relationship and my man is not giving that, does that make me wrong now for feeling like he's doing the bare minimum?
Mm.
Um, so
What's the question, girl?
personally, I
It
don't feel
depends.
like you should judge your relationship based on anyone else's interaction with their guy or their woman or their partner. What's normal for you and what is because sometimes what's gonna read as love to you is not gonna read as love to someone else, right? So, and you might see something that someone is doing on social media and that's not even your thing, but you're going to require that from your man, and that's not even what really makes you feel loved and appreciated. So I don't know if I would say, oh, look what they're doing for, this person over here. You need to match that vibe. I think that we shouldn't get those cues from social media. That's all I'm saying.
I have a transverse opinion. I think when it comes to material things, yes. Like if people are buying things, like you can't really compare that. But some people, if you think there is no social media and you have not seen a healthy relationship and you see you're in one, whatever, you're in a lot of unhealthy relationships, you do see social media and you see like this man like invest in this woman, see how he's like taking care of her and doing this and that, then you might look at your partner and be like, hey, this looks like something that I actually didn't know that I needed as a standard, but I do.
Okay. That's a
So
good
both are very true. Both points are true.
point. That's a good point.
But you got to know why you're doing it. Is it a show? Because I want to be able to show people on Instagram that my man bought me 1,000 flowers too, or are you like wanting to be cared for in real life?
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. So you're bringing about us having exposure to things that are healthy for us that we maybe have not had in our, our day-to-day life, our relationships prior to. And sometimes social media
Hmm.
can expose us to that as well.
And unhealthy. I knew I was getting gaslit in a relationship because I saw a Twitter thread that talked about gaslighting. And I said, oh shoot, that's what's happening to me. I would have never known.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think where I just want to balance the conversation for us, because I tend to see most of the things that are pumped into our feeds as a programming, as something that we don't need
Mm,
to kind of pattern ourselves after. So
yeah,
when you brought
yeah.
the other aspect of that, well, sometimes you get to see something that is positive, that does help you to expand your understanding of a thing that is there in social media as well.
Okay. So, yeah, I think those are really good transverse opinions that are both extremely true. And that's where you just got to like step away and touch grass and figure out what is what for yourself. Um,
Yeah, and I think that you're
but
making
yeah.
you're feeling these things are coming up because you're on social media, whether you are for or against it. The point is to be able to pull back and really, like you said, touch base with yourself and decide, is this truly important to me? Am I struggling with this? Is this something that I need attention, or need some type of work on? And then go from there. But don't be
Yeah.
reactive to what social media tells you. And also, you brought up the post about if you're being gaslit. There's a slew of information about narcissism on social
Yeah.
media,
It's not funny, but yeah.
but it's not all accurate either,
Mm-mm.
because that's the trending thing. A lot of people are making posts and things of that nature, because everyone wants to say that someone else that they're in a relationship with is a narcissist. And so they're putting every single, characteristic that we might not agree with in the what a narcissist is, and that's not necessarily true. So we have to have an ear and eye of discernment
You
as
have to
well.
have real, yeah, you have to have real life things to double check social media for. Like, you can't get all your information, you can't get all your validation, you can't, like, basically, the scope of what we're talking about, like, you have to have some of this in real life too, because
Yeah,
none of that's really, really real. So, um, Kaya, did you want to get into the digital
we have
love
a comment
experience?
real quick. Do you want
Oh,
to say? I just deleted a bunch of photos last night of someone I used to know. They are acting so crazy on social. I don't want anyone to know was ever associated with this person. Which person are they really? Walk and talk don't match. Ooh.
yay for you for setting that boundary and realizing that you did not want to be connected to that.
Yeah,
Yikes for them.
I have unfriended some people and unfollowed some folks because I'm like, yeah, no, that's not for me. Not for me.
And we gotta do that a little bit less. Like, we gotta take unfollowing a little less seriously. Like, if you don't want to see something, just unfollow. Like, people are like, oh my god, are they gonna hate that I unfollow it? Like, it's just social media. It's
It's
just your
just
news feed.
social
Do
media,
you know
right?
how many people on Facebook, if you share something ignorant, I'm literally going to your profile and just pressing unfollow immediately because like I just don't want to see the stuff anymore. Like, I just don't like we like tea. But yeah, so Let's
So if
see.
anybody has any like dating stories that started or ended because of the algorithm, please do share. Please share. Maya, Kaya, do you guys have any dating?
Started or ended. Oh my God. Oh my God.
I have one, interestingly.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's a
Oh God.
throwback. It's a throwback from MySpace days.
Yeah, that
Oh geez.
MySpace.
MySpace days, I did, and that was probably the one and only, connection that I made that was more of a romantic connection. Met a lot of friends on social media, but more of a romantic connection was on the MySpace. And so you know how on MySpace that you got to, well, you guys probably don't know. Huh? Well,
I was on MySpace. I mean,
you
Yeah,
got without permission you were. But in MySpace you were
and I
able
was
to
in there.
put your top friends, like you placed them yourself, right? And so that was the thing. You can go and look on someone's page and see where you were on their top friends. So I was scrolling one day, just mindlessly scrolling through my friends, right? And I clicked on a page and they would show you like 20, 30, 50, 40 friends at a time. So I clicked and I saw this like a brief, profile picture because I was getting ready to click to the next page. And the person caught my attention. It was this guy. And I was like, oh, wait. So I clicked back and I was like, oh, when did we become friends? I don't remember us becoming friends. So I go to his profile and guess who he is the first friend that you arrange, right?
You?
I was number one behind family, behind everybody. I didn't even know that we were friends. I of course I had to accept him at some point, but I didn't even. Why are you guys?
How do you?
Because what the hell?
No, but yeah, and then like you went on with that because if I see somebody I don't even
That's scary.
know is number one, we haven't had no
So that
conversation.
scared you.
That's
That
a
scared
red
you.
flag. That's a red flag. It's giving
That
us.
didn't scare you?
That's
Didn't scare me at all, and we're still cool to this day.
Do we know who it is?
do we know why he rated you?
You-
No, we know. I'm sure we know, but
Can you text us?
did y'all discuss why you were number one and he didn't know you like that for real?
Yeah.
Why?
What did
It
he say?
was my whole vibe. Like I had my head wrapped. I was all, in my zone,
So he was a fan. So he
Rating?
was a fan.
Okay, yeah, that's what it's giving. He was a fan, yeah.
He was a fan. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Teresa said, text me. She wants to know.
We need to know.
I want to know because I need to ask them. Like,
But we developed a really, really deep friendship for many, many, many years prior to ever meeting each other. So it was a significant connection for both of us. And I say that because whatever he saw in me, I obviously saw in him too. Because remember, I was just scrolling through, just click, 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 click. And I was like, oh, wait, who is that? And I went back and I was like, wait a minute. So I click and he already has me at the top of his experience. And I was like, oh.
of course, you, Miss Oshun, was like, of course I'll be at the top. Like, yeah, this is so great. Like, no red flags. So I'm like, that's crazy. That's crazy. Like, ooh, we would have never had that friendship. I would have never known that would have been a good friend.
Yeah.
So, yeah, moving on. So, Kaya.
Okay, so now we're gonna hop into validation.
Love you, Teresa. Thank you for joining us. Okay.
We're gonna jump into validation and dopamine, the like addiction, the science of social media and self-worth. So that's our next topic. How dopamine hits from likes and comments create an addiction cycle?
Wow.
So let's talk about that from our personal experiences. Having posted something and what happens? What do you feel if you're getting likes, comments, or not? How does that affect you?
It used to affect me real bad. Not real bad, but like it used to affect me. I didn't want it to affect me because I'd be like, I like this. What's going on? Like, what's going on? Like, I
I
thought
like
this
it. Why
was
don't
the shit.
you? Right?
Like, are you guys being haters? That's what I told myself at the end of the day. I was like, okay, they're hating, but I'm like, no, because when it looks really good and I get a lot of likes, they're not hating. So that means they just don't like this. Like, because that's
No.
why I hid my likes and
Yeah.
I just hid my likes because it doesn't matter. And now I'm so like I just post because it's like a scrapbook for me. Take it or leave it. But at some point, I feel like a lot of people do get that dopamine hit.
Yeah.
You do. It's scientific. You get one.
Yeah. I feel like it doesn't matter either. And I definitely feel like I probably felt the same way. Um, but I don't know, because I feel like before I used to get more and now I don't. So it's like, I don't care now. But I think before, I mean, I guess, or maybe I just didn't care before because I was getting it, so it was making me feel good. But I guess you would assume that now that I'm getting less, that it would affect me. But I think I just don't care. But I do honestly feel like when you when you post certain things, I mean, if we're being completely honest, like, yeah, I don't care because you post a picture, you know you look good. What is this me amount of people liking it? That's
That's
not
not
gonna.
everyone's experience, but yeah.
Okay, well, that's my experience. I'm posting the
Yes.
pictures, especially because y'all know I only post once a year. So if I'm posting the pictures, baby, I feel like I look good in the pictures. So if you like it, you don't, you don't. But at the end of the day, honestly, too, some people do be hating. Some people definitely be hating, and it's just like, okay, it just is what it is. I'm not about to sit here and, especially if you go look at them, go look at the insights on a picture. You see how many people done scrolled past that picture but didn't like it. People be hating, so it is what it
Wait,
is.
I don't understand. You go to the insights and it shows you what?
If you go to
You
the
can see how
inside
many people saw your
picture,
picture and didn't
you
like
can
it.
see how many people saw it. You can see how many people sent it. You can see how many people visited your page from it. But you may not even have that many
How many
What?
people clicked the link in your bio from it on
click
Instagram?
on Instagram.
Oh, I
So
didn't know
you
that.
can just see how, like, you can compare the two. Okay, this is all the interaction it got. But from looking at it, this is
But
how
at
many.
one point, is it
Okay,
like
wait. So it
at one
shows you.
point? Because truthfully, like
Yeah, I need a clarification. It shows you how many people scroll past it or
solid,
stop
solid.
All right.
But if
didn't
you
enter.
see that 1,000 people saw it and you only got 200 likes, I mean 800 people scrolled past it.
Got it. Okay.
Or some people saw it more than once. Like it doesn't count that. But I think at some point it is really really important to mention that like if I'm scrolling, like let's say I follow somebody, right, and they're not my friend, because I'm gonna like all my friends' posts, but that I
Right.
don't have to like. If I don't genuinely like every single post of yours, then I don't have to like it. But I feel like I kind of have to nowadays because people think like that. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So that's why if I don't get a like on every post from everybody, I'm not feeling that way because it means you just didn't like it. Like you shouldn't feel like you are obligated to like my post because you follow me. Like that's crazy. If that's the case, why do we
I
even have
agree.
likes?
I agree with
I
that.
agree. And I
What,
want to
what
go back
about
to
when
something you said, Kaya. You were saying that we really don't care. But if we didn't care, would we post it on social media? Because aren't you posting it to show people?
No. Yes, but
Yeah,
no.
you are. And she wouldn't post it, right?
No, you're posting to share, but it doesn't mean you care what they do with it.
yeah, it's
No,
not
no,
like
no. It doesn't.
you're not
Some
posting for validation. Well,
people,
not everybody is. I'm not
some
posting.
people might not care,
Some
but
people,
the majority of people who are
Let's actually talk about the majority. They care. They
yeah,
care. The
exactly
majority
right.
are like,
Majority
oh my
does
gosh, they don't feel secure, so they post on social media because if they get this many
get
likes,
that
they'll be like, oh, I must
validation.
be pretty today.
Yep,
And I don't.
no, I don't want to go that far and say that that's what everybody's doing. I think that
not everybody, but
That's the
majority.
majority of people, though.
before though that you would post something because that's the world of social media is the interaction. So why be there if no one's going to interact with your post? The point is to have the interaction. Social media. That's the whole
Media. That's true. It's
You're
just
right.
not to have. So like, we need to take the validation part out of it. It's just to be social, but it should. We've got it a little misconstrued by getting validation from it, and like
right.
I it can become unhealthy in that sense, essentially.
Yes, if that's what you're going
So,
there
which
to.
is like, like
Yes.
you just said, are we seeking connection or approval?
True. Connection or approval. That's what it
I
would be.
I don't know if it's healthy to do either.
What? I think connection's normal. I think connection's normal. I think
I
social
don't
media
think
makes
it's
that so
normal. I
cool.
don't think it's healthy to go seeking connection on social media. I
Why
think
not?
that's a slippery
No,
slope.
not to go seek it.
Well, that was the
Not
question.
seek it, but that's what it is. That's what it's for. You open it up because you're going to be social and you're going to have connections.
Okay, so I don't open it for that.
Then you just don't need to be on social media. What?
But
So what are you doing?
so okay, let's talk about that because I think when I first got on Instagram, I really went to Instagram because Facebook has a lot more of the personal, the people that I know. There's more of those interactions. Da 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 da.
Right.
And I really prefer in-person interaction. I really do over social media. And so I just want to say this now. Anybody that's friends or family that may see this and they're like, oh, she doesn't do this, she'll do that on social media. It's not my preferred way of showing my care and concern and my love. It's just not. So when I got on Instagram, I was like, oh, great. I can be on here and just only follow my comedians because I'm there for entertainment, not for connection. My comedians and like some of the famous people that I like, that
Okay.
what they're
Okay.
doing. I was only there for that. And then it became something else. And I was like, no,
Right,
tell
because you didn't even follow me and Kaya on Instagram for the longest, and then
because
you took another year or two to follow Kaya.
I
So
wasn't
yeah,
Kaya she didn't really want me to follow her on social media. That's what was really going on. And I respected her, her social media privacy. It wasn't a big deal. I didn't take it personal.
damn, that's crazy. I would take that so personally if Sahir didn't want me to follow him. I would take that so personally. You would
That
catch
was
me on a
a while
burner
ago.
account
That
following
was a while
him.
ago. Now I don't care. But
I knew. I
Well,
was
you were
like,
younger. You were younger,
that's what I'm saying. Like I kind of
but
get that from a younger
I don't know.
person.
so I think it's
I
just
like the connection of social. Go ahead.
so okay. So explain to me because I don't get that from social media. I don't look for it in social media. So explain to me, give me some examples of like genuine, real connection. I know you
So
have one, Maya. Yeah,
yeah, I have a couple of them. Well, first of all, you know that I met my mentees on social media. Like my
exactly.
mentee group, we
Have
met
that.
through social media.
Mhm.
And that's how we still mostly connect. Like a lot of I travel a lot and I meet people in different pockets. And then social media is the only way that I have to connect with them. Like there's this girl that I met a long time ago hanging out with Brittany Renner. Like she's married now and like has a great but I just love that we can still connect in that way without being like we're not friends, like we don't talk on the phone and text each other, but she still sees my life, I still see hers, we support each other. Cool. Another aspect of that connection would be like if I post or share a video like how your comedians do. I'm like the poster. I post something that I feel like could be useful to somebody, and somebody comments and is like, "Hey, like this changed. This really helped me out. I've been dealing with this, and I really enjoyed your perspective." And now, da 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 da. That's connecting to me, like sharing my story, sharing things that I learn, and someone that I don't know hearing it, and like it helping them.
I like
That's
that. I like
connection.
that. Now
And
I
from
can.
your comedian's perspectives, that they're connecting. They want to make people laugh. That's connection to them. For you as entertainment,
Yeah, good
you know.
point. Good point. But yeah, I was just on IG as an extension because I don't really watch TV. I don't even have a
Yeah.
TV. So that was
That's so valid.
that was my form of
That's why you
entertainment.
be on YouTube.
Oh, I love YouTube for that. Absolutely. Is there. I have a great time. So, yeah. So it sounds like the connecting is extended from your person. Like you meet someone somewhere, and then you continue that connection through social media.
Or you meet them on social media and you continue that
Yeah,
connection.
because I can say that too. Because that's how me and Lex met. Because I left upstate, but we met on Twitter, and then we built a relationship on Twitter, and then it kind of just built.
Wow. And you guys are really cool now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
you can definitely, and I've even had a guy friends that I've met that way too, and I'm just like still really cool with them. So
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
definitely meet and have meaningful relationships, friendships from social media. I've had a few. I've had a few. Well, I was about to say something else. Maya said that. Oh, and then like even like Maya said she met somebody, Brittany Renner, whatever. Like even just seeing people that I went to like middle school with, like just having just like still seeing what they're doing or high school. Like Maya said, me and this person aren't like friends, but it is good to see like how they're doing, how they've been, the accomplishments they've made. And I'm still like, tapping in and I'm still supporting when I see
There's
they've
a
made
connection, yeah.
it is nice to still see what people have going on that you have.
I guess that's the thing. Someone. Oh, hey, Gerard. Good to see you here. So that's the thing that I'm a little curious about, because I think it's, again, what we define as connection, right? Because seeing what people have going on to me is not really connection.
Well, no, I'm not saying that's a connection, but I like that.
It's another level of friendship that I feel like we can create, and I feel like it helps personally, because I don't have time in the day to keep up with all the people that I want to keep up with. I don't like to call you and text you and say, hey, how are you doing? How's life? So if we're on Instagram and you see something, you're like, hey, this is super cool, like real quick, like that is great for me. Like that's great. And we do that mutually for some years. We're locked in. I support you, you support me. Like we don't, like
True. You can support each other that way.
it's not just watching. And that's the thing I think that's important, because you're like, is it just watching? Like, no, there's a level of support.
You're still interacting.
There's some support.
But
what is very interesting, like my really, really, really close friends, we hardly interact on social media at all.
Do y'all post?
Well, that's your generation.
Right. Do y'all be posting on there? And do y'all
yeah. Like, one of my first best friends, like we don't really, like, even if I post something or she posts something, I don't even feel like what I need to say to her should be said on social media. I'll pick up the phone and we'll call her and have a conversation. Like it's deeper than social media. I'm not gonna be like, hey girl, here.
Well, no, that's true. If you have close friends, that's different. Because like if I have a close friend and they post something, I'm calling them. It's not gonna be like, hey, congratulations. That's what I said. There's like tiers, there's tiers. There's levels.
And I'll bring this up too. Like even with you guys on your birthdays, and we're all in the same house.
I'll be like, Kaya, let's get to Kaya with this one, because Kaya will be in your face.
I post.
What? I'll be in my face.
You guys like me to do a birthday post, and I'm just like, this is not for you. This is for them. This is for social media.
First of all, pause.
I don't care. Give me my birthday post.
Because you're not talking about me. I don't be caring for no birthday post.
And I don't either.
I just want a little story with the at. That's all. I just want a little story with the at.
In front of you, and we're getting ready to go somewhere and have some fun, and I'm loving you. So that
you've got 24 hours to do that.
But I don't know. But
I just like for me, I just interact with social media a little bit differently. It's just for me. It's not for nobody else. It's just for me. Like I just like that.
So you like for other people to see people celebrating you? Because it was just
I like to go back on my memories, like how I did today. I do that often. I go back on my Instagram memories and I go back through my own page a lot. Like I literally I like to have a documentation of my life, and I like for I like to see my life on social media. I do. So I like to see it on a story. I like to see it.
Okay, but just real quick, just backtracking real quick. And we don't got to talk about this for long, but when I was saying, when I feel like, people don't like a post because they're hating mine, I was like, no, that may not necessarily be the case. And I get what you're saying when you did bring that point up. You may not necessarily like everything that somebody posted. You're not obligated to like it. Okay, cool. So when it comes to an accomplishment, though, because you will notice sometimes when you're posting a accomplishment, what's not to like about that? You're following this person, you're cool with this person, they posted an accomplishment, or it's their birthday. I mean, you don't have to tell everybody happy birthday, but an accomplishment specifically, and people are choosing not to congratulate you on that accomplishment.
Yeah. So
I don't really think about it that way, unless they're like a close friend.
So
they didn't,
this is kind of segueing into something else that we were going to talk about. Can we go there?
That yeah.
We can go
Let's
there.
go there. Let's just go
Let's
in there
go
because
there.
that's basically what we're talking about is like digital friendships, right? Because that's a way of like gauging how much somebody cares about you. So are we connecting using our social media or are we just consuming? Because if someone's looking at it and scrolling, that's just consuming. Or are we taking a second out to like and comment and connect? And
Okay.
so that's also showing like what mom was saying earlier, like does social media create the illusion of closeness without real interaction? Because I feel like it makes it so confusing now that we're talking about it because there's certain friends in my head where it's like, yeah, if you just like it and comment, then that's good. But if you don't call me, and some people need to call me. Some people, if you only like it, that's fine. And some people, if you don't do nothing, that's a problem. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I posted something and like Sierra just liked it, like now I'm gonna be like, what? Like, are we not friends? Like, but if there's someone else that like we don't talk that much, like, and you only like and comment, like that's cool. But people that honestly, anyways, that's
Or
just my
you know
spill.
that there are some people who are supposedly your friends who see your things and don't interact with it at all, but then call you and are on your phone, wanting to have deep
Mentioning the
conversations,
stuff that they saw.
wanting to have deep conversations,
Well,
wanting to pick your
like
brain
mom said
about
though, but like mom said though, sometimes she likes to call the friend and talk about whatever they posted
If they're
instead.
not that close, though, is what she's
But I
saying.
guess,
She's
but
saying if you're not that
yes,
close.
Maya makes a good point. So if you have remember I was talking about before in one of our very first podcasts, I have my associates, I have my community, and I have my sisterhood, right? And so
Yeah.
community, a lot of those people interact on social media, and you'll see that there will be people who don't want to interact with your stuff, don't want to promote your things, don't want to even, have any type of social media engagement. They act like they don't even see stuff, but they're on your phone wanting information, wanting to pick your brain about something, wanting to,
And
engage
engaging with other
with
people. That's
players
the
and
issue. Is
engaging
that
with
they're
other
sharing other
people
people's stuff.
and have this thing behind you. So it talks about how social media, we were talking about how social media can actually expose whether the relationships are genuine or not. It's
Yeah.
it's kind of
And
interesting in that piece. Mhm.
I think it definitely. I feel like it mostly works with those friendships that you're already kind of side eyeing, anyways. Like you just said, because if it's someone that you're locked in with, like I had a friend that this is a perfect example. There was this friend of mine that was questioning that was feeling insecure in our friendship. And so they
Mhm.
purposely sent me something to share on my Instagram story from TikTok of theirs. They sent me a TikTok that they made and wanted me to text it to me and said, share this on your Instagram story. And I said, whoa. I felt so violated because, first of all, don't tell me what to post on my social media, especially if you're coming out of a place of insecurity for me to prove my friendship to you. You want me to post something, and y'all know me, I'm not posting something from TikTok to Instagram. I'm not doing that. So, anyways, I didn't do it. I posted it from TikTok to TikTok, but then I called my other friend. I said, "Am I tripping?" Because like and they were like, "No, that's so crazy. Like we're best friends." Destiny, she's like, "I don't. Whenever I see that you share like my business stuff, I'm like, oh, Maya shared it. I get excited and surprised because I'm not expecting you to do that. Like." You don't have to do that. Every time Sierra shares like a Silver Cocoon podcast post, I'm like, oh, she shared it. I'm not like, where are my friends? Are they sharing my thing? I'm just like, I'm not
Supposed
expecting it. I'm like,
exactly,
wow, this is what you chose to do with your social media. Thank you. But,
exactly.
but those people that will share everything else and like everything else that are close to you, like family members, um, and then want to talk about it, but it's like you're like that's how you can that's where the fakeness kind of can come in. That's where am I
Yeah,
making maybe somebody
Yeah.
yeah,
listen for me.
yeah. I think so. There are levels to it. There are levels. So I remember, I think I went through, when I'm not really on social media, but I'll jump on and I'll see people's stuff and people that I know that are doing, events, this, that, and the other, and I'll just share it. And there was like a year and a half when I was abroad out of the country and I wasn't really interacting much, but you'll see me sharing everybody's stuff just to, because some of my people, that's what we do. Um, and so Yeah, you do take note. There are times when you do take note. You do take
And it
note.
can expose it. But then
Mhm.
sometimes, also to kind of get to your point, Kaya, a little bit about the people that ignore accomplishments. Personally, if they're not like family or close friends, I wouldn't feel no way about it. I wouldn't even
Right,
give that energy. And
No,
if
right.
there's
I'm
that you're thinking,
Uh-oh. Hello?
yeah, that was Sahir calling, even though I set a time frame that I was available at and not available at. So I'll call a
Okay.
little later, and if not, I'll see him in the morning. Okay, so yeah, so I just feel like if there are people that you feel like might have that, just unfriend them. Like literally, like just unfriend them if you feel like someone's a hater.
Oh yeah, no. And I wasn't necessarily saying like that I felt that way because
Mhm.
like you said, aside from really family and friends, like why else would it? I mean, and aside from family and friends, I mean, people aren't obligated to tell you congratulations. But
Well,
but
you
what
know what?
but what really quick, what Maya was saying about, you expect some friends to do certain things. Like you're like, if so and so just likes or doesn't do anything, it's a problem. If so and so just likes it, it's okay. But if they don't call, it's a problem. Like, so with the people where you're saying if they don't interact to it on or on social media and it's a problem,
Like
why
let's
would you?
say for example, if we're close, like there's certain people, there's maybe three people that I'm even thinking about. It's not even a lot of people at all, but it's like people that are close in my life, but they just don't pick up the phone and call me, but that's just how we interact, and I notice that they do it for everybody else, but they don't do it for me. That's what I'm saying. Like it's those
Okay.
relationships. Now, like my best friends, like if Sierra or Destiny doesn't like or comment on a post, I literally don't care because we're talking all day anyway. Like it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying?
But you care if I don't.
I don't. If you don't, I'm not gonna be like Kaya hates me. I just need you to do it because I need you to do it.
What else would be like, Kaya, I posted it. Like, go.
No, but then you'll be like, Maya, you didn't tell me you posted.
No, Maya will be like, "Did you see? Did you see my post
um,
on social media in 5 days? Let me
Posted
let
my
me look."
pictures. I'm about to post my pictures. Okay, I posted.
You know
Girl,
what this is making me realize that I need to do more of,
what?
because I'm not on social media really to interact with the people that I love.
Yeah.
And so, but because I've moved away from a lot of family and some friends,
you
that I
need
also have been out. No, I don't need to on social media, but I've gotten out of the habit of connecting with them outside of that too, like
Yeah.
calls
Yeah.
and text messages. And
Yeah.
I prefer that. So I'm going to do better at that, you know? I need to do
Yeah.
better at that, reaching out to my people and checking in on them. Also, because I'm not going to do it on social media, and that may feel some type of way to other people if you see me pop on. Because you don't, perception is interesting. Because if I pop on for a minute and I do a couple of things, but what if 2 days before that it was a cousin's birthday that I missed, that I didn't see it, but then they see me on and I'm doing something else.
I know what it's like. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Like,
Me
and
look
I take like,
at
yeah. Go ahead.
So I'm gonna do better at connecting in the ways that is more preferred for me, but just to make sure that, I'm still engaging and with my people that I love. Because I
This is
don't
such a slippery slope because like while we're talking, I'm thinking like there's people that don't care about that stuff and there's people that really, really care. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's people that wouldn't be thinking of it. Like, oh, she didn't call and say
right.
happy
And I
birthday,
don't
now
even
she's
think it's
here.
about what they think. I think it's about you wanting to genuinely appreciate them and
Somebody. Yeah, yeah,
go
yeah.
up for
Yeah.
them. That's all. Everyone likes that. You know what I'm saying? Everyone can get
Can say
something.
something about that. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Whew.
I'm just checking myself on that, because I'm like, okay, I don't really like the social media, but how much am I doing to remain connected and
Outside of that.
outside of that, except for my like tight circle, but I don't live around my family as much. I mean, especially my family in Denver. So I need to do better.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like that kind of does have a big difference in things. I don't know. Sometimes I take like hiatuses from social media, and I'm like, dang, this person might be mad that I didn't share them on my story, but I'm like not on social media, and they wouldn't know. But then I don't want to tell people like, hey, by the way, I'm because that makes social media too real. Like, do I really have to report that I'm taking a break and that's why?
Right,
No,
right,
no.
right,
But
right,
I do
right.
say that on the phone sometimes. Like, if I'm on the phone, and they're telling me that they've done some things. Like, oh, I'm on a hiatus. I didn't see it. Like, I didn't see it. But our next question kind of does segue into our next topic of the power of online support and finding your people, which I think is a very, very underrated part of social media, and not enough people are using it in that way.
To make connections, to build community.
To build community that you wouldn't have around you, and you can get really
Mm,
specific with it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like
Well, give us
real
some
specific.
examples. This is where I think I need to learn this.
There's so many. There's so many. Like you guys know, I've been actually now that I think about it, I've been making online niche friendships for a minute. Do you remember when I was role playing with warrior cat clans and I would go online and I would pretend to be a cat? Oh my God, this sounds so crazy out loud.
Point break.
Um,
I mean, we know this, but
I would go online and I would like pretend to be a cat and we would be in cat clans like you would anyways, but regardless, like there's very specific things for things that you like and those people that are like-minded. You know what I'm saying? Like you can find
mm,
those niches, the niches that I
in groups,
found
getting
Because
in.
in groups,
your
but you can
close
find them
people
easily on social
may not
media because
even
they exist.
have those same interests, like the people that you're closest to.
Exactly. They don't. Like
And they
what?
don't.
And then like even like the tapping sacred wisdom group that I have, like they are very, very specific group of people that aren't new age spirituality, but they aren't, and I would have never found them around me. Like never, ever, ever. And so it's just like whatever your interest is, whatever you feel like you're missing around you, the beehive, you can find it on social media.
Yeah, yeah. That's
I
a
don't
that's
know.
that's a good that's good to mention. You know, another we don't necessarily think of this as social media as the big three. Is it three or four? Yeah, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok,
Twitter.
Snap.
Twitter. So
Yeah.
those are kind of the big four. YouTube is a little different because it's not as much, it's not like the interaction thing, it's more consuming and
Mm-hmm.
people going to look for the
Mm-hmm.
things they need. But
Mm.
WhatsApp has I know when I'm abroad, when I'm traveling, WhatsApp is how I find community. And wherever you go, there's a WhatsApp group for, you know, the people that are locally there, for whatever
Mm.
into
Yeah. Yeah.
that there. And so I'll go to find the WhatsApp, but usually you find those through Facebook.
Through Facebook, there's Facebook.
And
Yeah. And
they'll
Facebook groups.
or someone else in the community where you're at will say, hey, we have a WhatsApp group for this. So I do find those very helpful in terms of building community and finding, you know, like-minded folks wherever you are. The WhatsApp groups are really important for that. One thing I was going to say about, I noticed some years ago how there's a percentage of my energy that is allocated to social media. Let's
Mm.
say I got 100%. I really only have like 15% of that 100 that is allocated to social media. And I noticed it's a hard ceiling. Like I stand it. I can't. So since we've been doing the podcast, like it it's gonna have to work within that 15%. That means that this is probably getting 14%, right? And then
Damn.
1% will go to interacting on social media. I remember some time ago, I was a part of a group and there was a lot of heavy interaction on WhatsApp. And when that interaction grew, it started taking away from the time that I could allocate to Facebook or Instagram or anything like that. It's only 15%. Nothing. For some reason, I have a hard ceiling. It will not expand beyond that. It's just the things that the different apps are going to have to compete for whatever time. So that's just how it is for me. Like I don't my system just won't allow for any more.
While we're gonna need you to get you to the 20% at least, because you got other stuff that you need to be putting out there. But really quick, it made me think about I just thought about something like when we have like social media and friendships on social media, the part about the false connection that I think I just got is that social media is a highlight reel. So we're only seeing people's highlights and congratulating them. So you're not like, I'm thinking about the people that will talk to me and know me on social media, but then like have a real conversation like, dang, I had no idea that this was actually what your life was like, and like you're not actually connecting with these people. Like mom was kind of saying, I'm starting to understand that. And like I just had a friend with a family member recently that was talking about what they saw on social media. I'm like, yeah, but like that's not my life. Like, so we're not actually locked in because you haven't talked to me. So like you have to like, now it's making me think about the friends that I only see their social media, and yes, I congratulate them, but I also want to be there for the in the times that like they might not, like it might not be a highlight. And so that's kind of what makes relationships more real. So, anyways, that's just something that I thought about that I want to take away from this conversation.
Yeah.
And because I'm not sharing it's a highlight reel, baby. I'm not putting my downs on social media. Let's be very real.
And some people post well.
And some do, and that's good for them.
I think that is.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Absolutely.
That's what you do. That's what you do.
There's nothing wrong with that. And I think it's admirable because I think more people need to do it. It's just not going to be me.
You're right. I do think more people need to, if you're going to be the one that does post a lot and it just all seems like it's just glitz and glams and everything is just perfect, you should be, I do feel like if you're that person, be more real. Because we know
here's the thing that I think
people can do what they want to do, though. That's the thing.
Right. We don't have to.
Yeah, people can do what they want to do.
But here's something that I've noticed, that people will assume a lot by what you're putting on social media and what you don't. And I remember one of my god sisters, kind of bringing this up. She was like, no one would ever know what you're doing. You would think that because you're absent from social media, when you usually see someone who's really active and then they're not there, you assume the worst. People usually assume the worst. Like, oh man, maybe something's going on, or he's pregnant, or there was a failed relationship, or whatever. And a lot of times those people are just living their best life. I know I do.
That's you. Everybody else, no, that's you. Everybody else, if they were in Barbados and Belize, baby, they would have been posting. You're the only one that disappears when you have the most content.
Because I don't, I'm just engaged in the moment. But most of those times is when I do pull back from social media because I'm really enjoying myself in the moment. I just don't have time to be.
I'm like that with you too, Mom, honestly. Because like when I go places, it just be hard for me to just keep up with all that. Like, okay, I may take some pictures, I may take some videos for my personal whatever, but then I'm like, okay, trying to post it and trying to
content creation is a skill.
It is a skill. Thank you. Say that. Content creation is a skill, and I don't think I have it either. And sometimes I want to share, but I'm so consumed and embracing in kind of the moment that it just,
by the time I think about it,
but it takes a skill to be consumed and also be able to get that content. I'm just trying to tell you, like you can be consumed. And
I don't know if you can. I don't think that
I can. I was fully immersed in my Beyonce experience, and I got some amazing content. You just have to look. Like you can't look through your phone. You look outside of your phone. That's the difference.
Okay,
that's the difference.
There's a difference.
But
I've noticed when you had me on Maya was training me. She's like, okay, where are you at? I need you to get this picture. I need you to get this thing. I need you to get this, so on and so forth. And even when I did that, when I would arrive to a place, my first thought is, oh, I need to get these pictures first. I need to make sure I have these things done before I can enjoy myself. And it interrupted my typical flow, my usual flow. And
make it clear you were trying to create content for social media for your business. That's why you're doing it.
No, exactly. Yeah, but they don't go together very well for me. When I was doing social media like consistently, and I was doing the content creation part.
That's what sometimes you gotta hire somebody for that.
You gotta get to the point where you can hire somebody, and that's where a lot of people don't make it, because you gotta be those people before you can pay them.
No, I just want to I need to stay engaged in my work.
Me and Destiny were just talking about that. She was like, you gotta put the camera up, then close the door, then.
That's
They
a lot. Right. You gotta set
You're
the camera where
exceptional
you
at
want
that.
it to
You're
be.
really
But
an
it can be
exceptional.
so, but that's the difference between curated content and real life content. And that's the difference between Instagram and TikTok. People on TikTok don't do none of that stuff. You just set that up and you go. And that's why a lot of people like TikTok better, because people are more real. There's more connection. There's more real
Yes,
connection there.
yes, yes.
And I think that's a key point to just the hack to social media in general, is the more that you're just yourself and the more authentic you are in the moment, the better you will connect anyway with
Thank
people, no
you.
matter what the
Thank
platform
you.
is. And in order
Thank
to do that, you have to love yourself and know yourself and be confident in yourself. You don't have to, but it makes it easier. If you care what other people think about you, you're not going to do that. Do you know what I'm saying? Or am I wrong there?
I don't know. I don't know. I think it's different. I think I've had struggles with that because I'm an artist. I'm a spoken word artist and a performance artist. So the things that I show in public have always been put together for me. Like I don't just
So it's not
jump.
because you care what other people think, it's
No,
because you have a
it's I'm
standard.
a perfectionist I have a standard when it comes to what the art, the form, the lighting, the colors, the what I'm wearing, the whole, like I get into it. I
Yeah,
get
you be
into
doing a lot. You
I
do be doing
do.
a
Maya,
lot.
I'm a little
I would be
extra.
like, girl, just pick the camera up and talk.
And
And
I'm
you'd
like,
be
wait a
like,
minute,
yeah,
but
but like, I didn't.
you hear this, but I'm used to scenes being put together on a stage. I'm used to that kind of flow. So it's not just like
The
I
thing
walk.
is, you're a like, you're actually a producer. You're not a
No,
content creator. That's the difference.
I'm
And so that's a
still
total, you're
you.
welcome.
That's what's
That's the
holding me
difference.
back.
You can't, it's a phone.
That's the flex
It's a
though.
phone.
I'm a
It's a
producer.
phone and it's a house and it's a face. Like, you can't, like, it's not a scene.
Have my own way with that. And watch, when I start doing it, I don't want to hear nothing when I just be waking up with my bonnet. Like, okay, and
You're not hearing
Literally, like, just get it
anything.
out. Just go.
I
You're
am. I
not
am.
Not
gonna
a
hear
production.
anything. That's the crazy thing. Like people are gonna like that.
No, it's
They are.
true. But then also,
Um,
yeah. I think I've said enough about that. But yeah.
yeah. So we'll see more authentic content from Ife, and then eventually we'll be seeing production on the big screen where she can really do her thing. But in the meantime, phone, face,
I love it.
record.
Just keep it simple, Pookie.
Keep it simple, baby girl. And
Okay,
I trust me,
I know you're not talking.
honey. I post content.
Right? Huh?
I post content.
She does.
Just be
But see, with Maya, it's just easier. Maya just knows what to do, especially even when it comes to like
do.
pictures. Even when it comes to pictures, like Maya can just she knows what to do. She
what
knows
to do.
her angle. She knows.
I'm a content creator. Like, I know how it just comes very naturally to me. So
She knows what to
that's
do.
why I'm okay, because I know it looks good. That's why I post it. So
Oh.
if it didn't, I wouldn't post it. So
Not to me, baby girl.
but that's when you study human design, and I have an external motivation. So like, I am really good at making, like, curating my external, but my internal looks a little crazy. But the external, I'm good at that. Don't worry about what's going on inside today. Look at the picture. So let's
before we
yeah.
move, there was a
Okay.
question that we kind of addressed, but I want us to talk about it directly.
Okay.
So, do we think people stay in relationships or positions or make purchases or take trips to get or keep social media validation?
Absolutely.
Yeah, 1,000%.
What are y'all?
Many.
That's not even.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's not even a question.
I really don't even
It's
think
why. The question should be why. Because they definitely do.
absolutely. People absolutely do that. Absolutely.
Drake, and I don't mean to quote Drake in a time like this, but he did say that he knows girls that would like take pictures and then save them in their phone and then post them later to show, like, make it look like they were still on vacation. And like,
Oh, I've heard other people
people do that.
too. Yeah.
What?
Mhm.
I ain't never.
So they definitely take trips. They definitely do. You know how many girls get flown out by guys they don't like just so they can post the destination on Instagram?
Yep.
Because I bet you if you say, yeah, but you can't post it, would they go? No.
I didn't know
You're
about
buying something that's trendy that you don't even like for real, but it's popping. So you buying it to make yourself look cool.
We've got to get out of this validation from social media. Ruby, we met Ruby in Barbados, and Ruby posted a story, and she was like, this is how I make sure that, and I guess this is getting into this kind of segues into our next
Yep. It's
thing.
time to
But
move
she was
it
like,
on.
this is how I intentionally engage healthily in social media. She's like, I turn my comments off on my posts. I turn my likes off and I turn my comments off on my stories. So it takes away the
Mm,
validation. I
I
literally am just, it's
like
just here. Like there's no comments. You could, of course, people still like it, but you can't see them. It just, that's her way of keeping
I kind
boundaries
of
in
like
social
that.
media.
I kind of like that.
Yeah, and she seems like a good person to take advice from. So I think that's a great idea.
I like
Um,
that.
but that does bring us into our next, segue about breaking the cycle. Like, how can we be intentional about love, friendships, and self-care when we're online, since social media is here to stay for the foreseeable future?
I have one suggestion, and it's kind of
Okay.
it's a I know it may seem like I'm nitpicking a little bit, but so this year I got on, social media around my birthday and got a lot of happy birthdays, and they were all the where they have the things that social media that Facebook suggests that you click
Type,
on the
yeah, with the
automatic
emojis, yeah.
98% of the happy birthdays were just the click automatic responses that Facebook suggests. And that's when a little piece of me died a little bit. And I was like, oh my God, we won't even just type it in and say, hey, sis, happy birthday. We're not, I was sad, not just because it was done for me, but I was like, this is where we are at now in social
Hmm.
media. We won't type it out. We just click the thing and just click. It's meaningless. Like, and I'm gonna just say it. Like, don't say happy birthday to me if you can't type something out. Like, I don't even want it.
So you feel
I'm
like
just
people can be more intentional if they
I'm
use
being
their own
real,
words.
yeah. And I will go to people's posts, and if if I know you, I'm going. And then sometimes if I don't, I'm just gonna type a thing out, and I know that what I type out might be exactly what Facebook is suggesting, but I might change the emoji or do something different. Just to say I took like a couple seconds and said, "Hey,"
Thanks. Yeah.
something
Okay.
as simple as that. Like just type it in.
Just you like be more authentic in the interactions that you do have, since it's
It's
already so
personal.
disconnected.
I'm
Use your
already
personable
so
words.
disconnected, and
Yeah,
We're human, not a robot. We not
yeah,
AI.
like
we're not
thank you.
AI.
You're not, and it felt so disconnected. I was like, none of this feels real. None of it feels real.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah,
I was telling Maya real quick about the update. My phone updated, and I didn't choose for it to, but now there's an option for text messages. It has pre-written responses that you could just click and send.
click and add in. Yep,
Click
click
and
That's
send.
crazy.
and click and post, click and paste, whatever. Um, so I guess I was gonna say that sometimes it takes us a moment. We have to slow down and be more thoughtful about what we're saying to people on social media. But because we spend hours and hours scrolling, looking at stuff, clicking on stuff, then make some of that time genuine and authentic.
genuine, yeah. So being as genuine as
Make
possible.
some of that time genuine and authentic. And if you don't want to post it on social media and you know that person personally, then hit them up on text or call them or whatever. But I think that back to what we were saying before, that we're spending so much time here, but are we feeling fulfilled? Is the
Hmm.
interaction becoming less genuine because Facebook is and Instagram or whatever is just giving us AI responses now? And so here we are spending the bulk of our time here, but really not connecting at all, at all, at
Yeah,
all.
yeah. And I
Um,
think that's, oh, go ahead.
yes, I'm saying this to make um that space a bit more genuine. Hey, Nia.
Yeah.
Um,
Hey.
and intentional about connecting heart to heart if you care, if you
Yeah,
care.
yeah.
I care. I'm a very sensitive person, so and very connection personal person in that way. So, you know,
I know that broke your heart. You said
Not all
80%
the
of
and it
the
wasn't
happy birthday
personal.
posts.
It wasn't wasn't like
I know, I
acting
know, I know, but just that's where we are
like,
now.
oh my God, this is where we are now, where you just
Yeah,
click
that is
this
her.
automatic
Yeah.
response. And I go through, and every single person who leaves me a happy, even though they were them automatic responses, I typed out, thank you.
Yeah.
And if I knew you, I would
Yeah, I
say
do that too.
a little
Yeah,
more.
I do that too.
More,
I switch up the emojis,
blah, 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 because you did take out time to personally,
to say something.
So,
Yeah.
and if we're gonna be on social media all damn day long, just taking that time to make it genuine.
Yeah. I feel like Kaya, or did you have something to say, Mom?
One more thing about how to, having some boundaries, setting some boundaries with social media. The first thing when you wake up in the mornings,
don't scroll. Yeah. I have a no scroll before an hour before I wake up and an hour before I go to bed. No scrolling.
Yes.
Because it's like because we're going to talk about curating and all that, but regardless of all that, you're taking in other people's thoughts and feelings.
First thing.
And that's the first thing before you go to them first. And I mean, hey, if you don't have any like goals for self growth, then hey, it doesn't even matter. If you're just waking up doing the same thing every day and that's fine with you, I guess it doesn't really matter. But if you're trying to create space,
Why is sounding we listen and we judge?
No, I'm saying like
we judge right now.
Some people are not growth oriented, and that's okay.
But even though they might not even think they're growth or wellness oriented, they kind of are.
That's
they don't know how
that's true.
Affected by.
That's true. You wouldn't even know. You're right. Take a second and then try and then make the decision. But I definitely think that's a great boundary. I feel like my relationship with social media got better once I validated myself. Like once I truly once you don't use it as a tool for validation, meaning like take a second, have have whatever you have in social media and make sure you have that in real life as well so that you can check that. You know what I'm saying? So that made it better. Just secure my life because you can have FOMO. Like I was at home for a year with the baby. Like I'm seeing people. I have lived a life. Like make sure you're not using it to compare, and that's where curating comes in.
Go back. Make sure you're not living. You're not doing it to compare. Expand on that a little bit.
Yeah, I'm getting it. Yeah, so make sure you're not on social media to compare yourself, and it may even be like because I've heard I don't do that at all. But some people will follow like all these Instagram models all day and be like, "Oh my God, I wish my body looked like that. Oh my God, I wish my hair looked like that. Oh my God, I wish my like that sounds like torture to me. Like, oh my goodness."
And why is it torture? Because it's not real.
Because you can only be not even that. It might be real. The girl really might look like that. Some of them really do. But the issue is that no matter what you do, you'll never be her. So you need to only focus on being the best version of yourself, whatever that looks like. There's always going to be someone prettier. There's always going to be someone with a bigger butt. There's always going to be someone with more money or a better like that. And social media is always going to put that right in front of your face if that's what you're looking for. You have to be secure with yourself and the life that you have and not compare yourself. Jealousy was a comparison.
So I think that if we find ourselves comparing too much, then we really need to do a social media detox.
Exactly.
And I'm saying that because these physical standards of what beauty is supposed to be, that is, created for us, that it's designed so that we do feel insecure, so that we can spend our money, basically, so that we do want to find some type of unrealistic expectation that we are trying to obtain. And if we find ourselves in deep comparison based on standards that are not the truth, then we need to take a break from social media in general. Not to say like you'll never look like this thing, but to take it a step further and say this thing is being put in a position
Purposefully to
to
make you feel inadequate. Yeah.
you feel
That's true.
inadequate, to make
That's
you
true.
feel inadequate.
That's
And
true.
so if you're starting to feel that inadequacy, then it's time to step away from social media, because what it is designed for is becoming overwhelming. And I think going in, we need to keep that in mind.
Going
The
in, yeah. And
people
that's
who
where
created social Facebook, who created Instagram, who created what the other ones, it is so that you can feel like you need to keep up with something and spend your money.
and spend your money. Yeah. And
Period.
I think that's where curating your content comes into play.
Mhm.
After you take that break, you need the detox, come back and curate your content so you can even see post by post, what does this user's content make me feel? Does, you know what I'm saying? And then so one by one, it looks different on every app. It can be like unblocking, like unfollowing, blocking certain words that may trigger you or make you feel inadequate. Purposely tricking the algorithm by looking up certain things. Going to Pinterest. Pinterest is a great medium between social
Mhm.
media because it's not social, it's just images. And just
Mhm.
like making sure that the content that you see is feeding you and not draining you.
Mhm. I also think like decentralizing social media in general.
Yeah, yeah.
Decentralizing social media in general. Let it be like you pick up a book that you want to read occasionally, but it not, your life isn't revolving around social media. Once you step it down in the hierarchy of things that are important to you, then you'll be less vulnerable to
Hmm.
those insecurities, to your time being sucked away, all of those things. Like you have to decentralize it, because there's a, it has its own kind of vortex that'll have you living in this alternate reality that is not necessary, that is so far away from, you know, just you as an authentic, genuine being. So decentralizing that, making those connections in your environment, in your families. I know people who do that very well, you know what I'm saying, that have those connections, are very strong, very present, and so they can dip in and out of social media, and it's not a
Yeah,
big,
yeah, yeah.
they don't wake up to it, they don't spend hours on it, they don't, you know, um uh, I even find myself though just mindlessly opening an app, and I'm like, why am I here? How did I get here? The design is expert now. I can't even, you know, I'm not gonna take anything from them. It's genius. It's
It's
genius because
genius. It's
like
built to suck. There's $1 billion industry in
is
social media
listen,
and advertising.
it knows how to get everybody, even those who feel like myself that, you know,
Ooh, a good boundary that just go ahead. That feels like yourself
no,
like that. What? A
but
good boundary is turning off your notifications, and they can't do anything about that. You turn off your notifications for Instagram, Facebook, because you know Facebook now half the notifications don't got shit to do with me. It would be like this person commented on this. What they got to do with me? Like I literally like you just want me to open
Every
the app. You just want me to open the
app
app.
be doing that. I'm noticing
So
that.
it's just
notification. I
like,
barely have my own phone
but I
notifications.
don't turn my notifications on for social media, and that helps a lot.
Yeah,
Surprise me. Like,
yeah.
just go that way, you get to go, because that's their way of like being like, hey, 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 look at me, look at me. Kaya, did you have anything to say on that? How do you do that before we move into our game? Like, what are your healthy, habits for social media?
I don't really have any. I'm just not on it as much as I used to.
That's it. She's decentralized.
Yeah, she's decentralized. That's
Yeah,
good. That's
yeah,
good.
that's good.
That's
Just
good.
not.
You've been living in real life. Okay. So we have a quick game or two, depending on timing. This first one is called Toxic or Nah. So we've got some real life dating, friendship, and self worth scenarios that
It,
happen because of social media. Hmm?
mhm.
Either through DMs, comments, or whatever. So we're going to debate on if it's actually toxic or just modern culture. Like if it's just normal or toxic, okay? So I'm going to list one and then we have to quickly say,
Examples as
huh?
well. Type it in. If anybody else wants to add
Yeah, if
something.
y'all want to add some examples, definitely add those into the conversation and we'll talk about it. If it's something that happened to you, you want to know like is this normal or is this toxic? So I'll start off with the first one and then we'll just say toxic or nah. Quick answer, move on. Somebody watches, a guy watches all your stories but never texts back.
Wait, what?
Is this somebody that you're talking to?
Yeah, well, obviously, someone that you're interested in. They watch all your stories but never text back. Someone that you're trying to get to know.
Yeah, that's toxic.
That's toxic. Yeah.
Toxic, yeah.
Yeah,
If
that's
they're
definitely
also trying to
toxic.
get to know you, then yeah. I mean, if it's
It,
one
it means that they don't really care, and you
don't care yet.
block them.
Yeah, there's something else going on.
Because they have time to watch your story, like, and you're clearly if you're watching your story, you're thinking about a person. So if you're not looking at them and be like, hey, maybe I should text them. Come on now. Okay,
So this
toxic.
you said if they continue to.
Yeah, they continue to do that. Like, yeah. So my friend only posts our pictures if she looks good in them. I don't think that's a problem.
If y'all both look good.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because some people, it can be toxic if you're only caring about how you look in a picture.
And not how the friends look, exactly.
If you're, making sure everybody flipped apart and
then you're good. But it is definitely, that's a huge red flag if your friend posts you looking crazy because they look good. That's a huge red flag.
Yeah.
He, unlike my old photos after we stopped talking, petty or fair.
That's
I had
fair.
an ex that deleted all their comments too. That's not fair. That's fake.
That's petty.
You liked it and you left the comment. That's petty. To go back and delete it is ridiculous.
And
stick by what you did. Stick by it. Just move on. You can unfollow, but to go back and unlike and delete comments is crazy.
That is crazy.
That's crazy. So that definitely happened to me, and I was like, okay, like, okay.
Some of this conversation, I just can't relate. Like I feel
like it's out of your scope. Like I feel like
my scope. I just am like, okay.
This one's good, y'all. My partner won't post me, but posts everything else.
No. So I'm gonna tell you this: don't post me unless I have given you permission, or unless I'm going to be posting you too. Don't post me. Don't post me.
Okay,
so you're fine if your partner doesn't post you, but posts everything else.
Yes, until I say.
Want them to
but what if you want to be posted, but he's like, I just want to keep my relationship private?
Well, I'm the person to say something like that.
Okay, Mom. But if you want to be posted by your man, you're we're talking about if you were somebody that wants to be posted.
No, we're talking about me personally.
Your partner. Let's say your partner is posting everything under the sun. Your partner gets a new car, he's posting. Your partner's getting Chipotle for lunch, he's posting it. You're like, hey, I was on this date too. Like, why didn't you post me? Okay, and they're like, oh, I just want to keep my relationship private.
Because if you post all that,
hypothetically speaking, boo. Oh my, Kaya, what do you think?
That's what I'm saying. She's just
at this point, Kaya.
Unless it's coming
out. Don't do me like that, because some people, I represent some segment of the population of people on social media. If you're posting everything you're doing, I don't want to be with you anyway.
No, right. And I'm that way too. I'm that way
same,
too.
Same.
But if you're posting majority, okay, boom. If you're posting,
let's say it's your birthday.
You're posting right. If you're posting majority, my birthday comes around.
My birthday, and you're posting everything that we're doing, but you haven't. You like, there's no post of me. Yeah, that's suspect.
I personally feel like if someone's on social media, if they post their self and their friends and they're not posting they have something to hide.
They have something
it's
to
very
hide.
Simple. Whether they're not a social media person or not.
About me. So I just had a conversation with someone recently. I said, so have you felt the type of way that I haven't friended you on Facebook or on social media, although we've been friends and we have known each other and we've had a very significant relationship for probably like 18 or so years now. And so I did this once with somebody that I was in a relationship with. I did, we liked each other, shared some things, but generally in a relationship, like, I don't even want us to be friends on social media.
But you're just hyper secretive when you're in relationships. Yeah, you're hyper secretive in relationships. So I'm glad that you're bringing this perspective in, but it is very, very not common.
Rare? Are you saying it's
Mom,
rare?
to not even add somebody on Facebook, and that's a little strange. Not
if you're both on Facebook, you're both on
you're both on there and you're both posting.
If we're in a significant, I have to get out of I gotta be married. Okay, at this point.
But one of our commenters did say that I think it has to do with age, and I agree with that. Because in our day and age, that's crazy.
I think it has to do with age too.
Yeah, probably. Because
Age,
for
but,
us, that's crazy.
but it should also have I think that more people should kind of follow that rule, because a lot
You
of people
can't now. You can't now. No, you can't. You
out
can't
there
trust that
on
now.
relationships. You
No,
can't,
But you
you
can't trust
can't do
that.
that now. Now, men will still post you and cheat.
huh?
Yeah.
I said they'll
Men
still
will still
post you and
post you.
cheat too, but if they're not posting at all, that's
But I think that you really need some time for the relationship.
no, that's
because
fine.
then you're being what?
No, we're not saying fresh
We're
out the
not
gate.
saying that. We're saying if you're
Y'all been
in,
with each other
we're
for a
not saying fresh out the
while.
gate.
Okay, like a
We don't
year.
post our partners. We don't do that. So we're definitely not saying that.
Okay. So what are you?
We're
Might
saying that
say a year
eventually
in. Oh, boom, y'all been talking for a little minute, and this person posts everything.
you could post a foot. Like you could post a shoe.
Or even if you're
You don't-
posting, like, you can be secretive. You may not want to show
the
everybody
hand on the drink.
what I'm dealing with, but you're still showing.
But there's somebody else there. Now here's
Yes.
the thing.
There you
I
go.
know
Soft
somebody.
launching. Soft launching.
You're making a good point, because I know somebody who does that, who is out with people, and you can tell that he's out with someone, and he does not post the other person, does not post the angle, and every now and then it'd be like a kind of like a little sneak peek of what's going on, but for the most part, he doesn't show anything else going on, and it's very telling. It's very telling.
That's what we're saying.
It's telling. He got something to hide, and now they
will
will still post you and cheat though.
Every weekend, you should make it seem like you're just going on solo dates. Come on now. That's not
okay. Toxic or not, I posted a picture that I thought was cute, but after I didn't get the likes that I wanted, I deleted it.
That's not healthy.
That's toxic.
It's not healthy.
It's not healthy. That means you're there for validation.
Based on our conversation, yeah.
It's not toxic, but it does mean that your relationship with social media is toxic.
Right. That's what I said. It's not healthy.
What about, and this one's not on there. Ooh, should I say this?
It's already out. Go ahead.
I have to put my photo through filtering and editing apps before I post it on social media. Every time. Is that a toxic relationship with social media, or is that healthy?
That's toxic.
It's toxic.
It's a validation thing still, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's about. I feel like if it's not like lighting or like there's a stain on my shirt, if you look at both pictures side by side and there's a clear difference in your face and your body, that's a toxic relationship with social media. And it's not your fault, because social media makes you feel like there's this unattainable. It's not your fault. You are a victim, but you got to take a break from social media. Yeah, you have to. And that face app.
I'm just sorry. Like, we should just be asking, social media toxic or not at this point?
No, everything's toxic.
Because you have to so hard to keep your sanity, you know what I'm saying, your mental and emotional wellness. It's a constant battle.
You do. And Nijama doesn't have social media, and he has a great life, so you don't need it. Well, you
absolutely don't need it. You absolutely don't need it. But Nia said definitely toxic. Yes, it is. It's inherently, it is designed to be that way. So no matter how much we want to trick ourselves into thinking it's something else, it's designed to be that way. Because I'm listening to our conversation, and I think I'm finding it a little problematic that a lot of what we're saying is leaning toward don't do, this is toxic.
There's not a lot of good things in here. We had one good blurb.
I don't really like having that type of flow in a conversation. And I'm like, well, dang, I think we're in toxic territory, period. This is where we are.
Yeah, it's toxic.
Yeah.
Damn, but I don't know. I have a great relationship with social media. I've learned, so I use it to learn. I use it to connect. Like, I think I do overconsume for sure, which is why I take hiatuses often. I do. And I think I'm in the middle of one right now.
But you have to be very intentional and conscious.
You have to be so intentional. Oh my God.
Striking that balance. And
I think another boundary. Go ahead.
Yeah.
My bad. Just on another boundary is comments. Sometimes like if you see a post and it's toxic and you go to the comments, it's nothing but extra toxicity. Or if you see a post and like sometimes, because I be loving the comments, like, but
Okay,
if
wait,
I'm
that's
trying to,
one of my guilty pleasures. I'm
I
not gonna
know,
lie. Being a
me
youth,
too,
it's
The
heavy. That's
me too.
comments,
for
Because
mine.
because I'm not gonna talk shit, but I want to see what other people think. I be like,
no, for real. The comments get
And
the
then
real.
comments be having me so
really
mad.
talks up because I know I could take it too far, so I just be like,
Nah. Sometimes you gotta detox from the comments for real. That's my test. Like if I'm on social media and I see a post, I'm like, dang, this is a bad headline about somebody, and I'm like, and I know them comments are juicy.
don't
And
go.
I'm like, let me.
Right. Mia says, facts. The comments are the juiciest toxic.
I'm trying to tell
It's
you.
definitely my
I be
guilty
feeling so
pleasure.
guilty when I click it, but it's just like a good dope. It's a good hit. We be in there cackling, sending the comments to each other like.
Oh, so yeah, I don't, yeah.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, just
Positive. Here's the positive.
yeah.
I typically go on Instagram to stalk Maya and Kaya's stories. Like I'll click and see if y'all stories are up there, and I'm going there to read. And then I noticed that my feed is stuff that I would send to Maya and Kaya. So I usually do that. Like
That's true.
those
That's true.
people who I send stuff to and just be laughing.
You always,
I
yeah.
do that.
I
Right,
think that's
right.
a good and it does to create connection with like even close friendships because it's like, oh, this person saw this and it made them think about me, or this is it. It
Yeah.
also one thing social media makes you do is it makes you feel less lonely in certain situations that you might feel like you're the only person going through something.
Say
You
that.
know,
Now
I
that
feel
is
like
a
that's
positive
very
thing about
important.
social media.
I don't
And
think
it,
I've had that experience, but I've witnessed that through you and being a new mom with a boy and the stuff that comes up on social media. I'm like, Maya, look, you're not alone. You're
this
not
is
alone.
not a unique experience.
No.
Oh my goodness. Oh, one last thing I wanted to touch on that can be positive for social media, but also in moderation, is helping you feel compassion for others around in the world. Like it may help you like love people outside of yourself a little bit more because you get to like see what they live like, hear their stories, see their lives, and it because that's kind of what you get from traveling. But if you don't
That was
travel, you can
that
open your app.
made me
You could
think of that.
travel in real life,
I travel a lot, so I do get that from there. But
but not
people
everybody has that luxury.
you're
Yeah.
not going to see, how
Hmm.
people are living and their experiences and there's similarities, the commonalities around just being alive and
Being a
enjoying life.
human, yeah.
Wanting to, right, wanting to experience the simple pleasures of life. That's universal. So you do get that. Yeah.
And spreading awareness and mobilizing, there's a whole bunch of other things that come with that. So I think
Well,
we have to end on a positive note. Y'all know
Mia
Ife.
says too, that's right. Yeah, that's true. I've been in she said a mom group for 11 years. That's been life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a latched group for breastfeeding, and I don't know what so many women would do without it on Facebook. Like there's a
Yeah,
Facebook group for everything too, but like it's just like it's there. There's so much education for free now. TikTok University, I don't know if you guys heard about that, but there's like
I
real
did.
professors getting
I did.
on,
Yeah.
sharing real information for free. Like, you know, it is a toxic place, but you can make it out alive if you fight.
If you're aware of what you're going there for, I think
Hmm.
that's important. Like because then if you're not, then you're just free flowing and just getting caught up on the next post, and no, you'll be somewhere else in 5 minutes, just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling
You
in
know,
5 minutes to
yeah,
3 hours.
yeah. And it's
So
fun, it's entertainment, but in moderation.
yeah, I mean, you have to have it in moderation. You have to. You have to.
Yeah, for sure. Like definitely in moderation, because not no
Alistair,
moderation is
how
not.
you doing?
Hey.
Okay, so are we
All
gonna
right,
do
you
this
guys.
game? Hey, what's up, Tubby? Love you.
Yes, our last one we'll do real quick before we hop out of here. We're just gonna go to each other's Instagrams and we're
Oh,
gonna
Instagram? Okay, that'll be easier because I don't have that many posts, but you guys did.
say based off each other's Instagrams if we feel like it's an accurate like from like someone looking out like if a guy was to go to your profile, do you think this is an accurate representation of who you are? Or if a new friend or
What we doing first? We doing you first, Mom.
Y'all are doing me first? Okay, I already got to
Yeah.
Maya's. I'm gonna go to Kaya's and go to
Damn.
her.
Okay,
Oh, well,
hold
I
on.
mean,
Let's
you don't
see.
even have to go to your. I don't even
Let's
feel like
go to
really.
mom's Instagram page. You do gotta go to mom. You gotta go because we need to see what you might. Okay.
What?
What do I have?
Mom's. I'm
Wait.
just
Let me see what
I'm
I
just
have.
scrolling as if I was someone that didn't know you, and this is what I saw. My first thought is you need to post yourself more.
Yeah.
You need to post yourself more.
I
You're a
haven't been
very
on
beautiful
That was my
person.
very first post. Is
Huh?
this
What?
accurate?
Me
I
beginning.
don't I
Whether
think
you
it's accurate, but it's a little bit more of your serious side. I think this is a little bit more of your
You're
serious.
right. You're
are
right.
so
Because
right.
you
You are
do have,
so right.
yeah,
You're
you
right.
do have more. You have more layers to you. So this just gives like, yeah, you're just, yeah.
You know what? I
This
thought
gives
about
like
that,
this gives like warrior woman, but like artist and traveler. Which yes,
and that's all a part of me. But you know what? I thought about that yesterday. I
yeah,
said, which is why I love doing the Silver Cocoon podcast, because I get to be the other part of me that people don't see often, and which is a huge part of my personality. I'm pretty silly. You know what I'm saying? I like to have a good time. The girls call me childish, you know. But I am very young at heart, and I don't
yeah.
necessarily show that a lot.
It doesn't translate.
It's
No.
a very fundamental part of my personality. So
Should we share our Instagram ads for people that are listening and want to go look?
you see,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. So hers is at Ianifa Ife at IYANIFAIFE. So
Yeah,
you
we should.
guys take a look and yeah, even based on how you're on the podcast, I think this is a little bit more like definitely more serious.
Mhm.
But again, you don't really use social media like that, so it's not like this is
Yeah.
a curated. This is just happens to be what's up here over the past like 10 years. So,
But I also think that, yeah, you're right. I can't argue with any of that. Absolutely.
all right.
Maya's turn.
Oh God.
And
Let's
it's
go.
I think mine is
MAYAA.
accurate now.
Yeah. Dot not Naomi NAOMI.
Okay, so let's go.
But yeah, I think it's accurate.
What does it give? Like if you were someone that didn't like, what does it give?
It is
Mom.
mom and like
I'm looking. What do you mean?
no,
Oh,
no.
your face, your lip was twisted.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Your page. Your page gives mom. It gives, you're a mother, I
I
mean,
think it also shows, I think so.
like to travel. You
It's
love the water.
travel. I do
You love
think
your bikini.
it's definitely college too.
What'd you
You're
say?
also a lot more laid back.
Oh, then my Instagram gives.
Yeah.
That's a good point. It's very
You're
polished and like,
definitely a sweats and haltered
Yeah.
top on a regular basis.
Yeah.
okay, but sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas, and that's what I post on Instagram. Like,
Yeah.
Is
hold
this
on. I've been a
like,
mother for the last year and a half, so
No,
you can't.
but mom, she hasn't always been like that though. She
I've
hasn't
been a
always.
mother for the past year and a half.
no. When Maya is on her day to day, I'm going to Publix. I'm going to the.
That's
I'm
true.
just when she goes out,
Yeah,
she
that's
pops
true.
out. Like
That's
she
true.
definitely
That's
does
true.
that. But every day she's chilling.
I really am in
But who's
sweatpants. I'm in sweatpants.
gonna sit there and post
She
those
doesn't
pictures on
even
Instagram?
own, huh?
Right.
Who's
She
gonna
said, "Who's
sit there
gonna
and
sit there and post those pictures on
post those
Instagram?" She's right.
like, who's posting
But
that?
you guys said the
Does
question.
How could I be? How could I show that more laid back on my Instagram post?
You were saying before how you just have to come, you come on there as you are, your lives, and you just pop up and say, you guys are giving me the advice that
Well, no,
now,
I also said previously that I'm not going to be the person that doesn't share my. This is only my highlight reel. You're not getting anything else. I did say that. I did say that.
And
If you don't see me on
you're just
Instagram,
not
I'm
gonna get
going
it.
through
Okay, all right.
it.
Kaya, let's
Okay, Kaya. Okay, let's see.
and I don't.
It
If we're
definitely gives that you're outside a lot more than you really are. But it's only because you only post.
Girl, do it give? It don't give that.
It
It do.
does.
I guess it kind of does. Yeah. But these pictures are so old. Like I barely have any
That's all
pictures.
you can post.
That's what I'm saying. I don't
Yeah,
even
you
post.
post once a year, twice a year, but you
You're
typically post when you're doing something. So that's why it gives that. Like it gives that year.
okay. So this is that underscore
Underscore LOVEEKAYA. But I'm definitely more chill and laid back as well, for sure.
Yeah, I think you're more chill and laid back, and
this is a lot. You guys be. I don't
is
know.
it too many bikini photos? Or is
like,
it too sexy? Is it too sexy?
like a little bit more clothing would be nice.
Mom,
A little
please.
what? A little
No.
more clothing?
I mean, like.
I mean, you're the one that gave us.
I'm
All
barely
of the
naked.
pictures, though.
All of what pictures? I'm barely naked.
Look, Maya, and that's what she gets because she was getting ready to talk stuff.
I'm barely naked, for real.
Barely? What do you mean? Like, there's only 13 pictures.
Right.
And 11 of them are. I mean, I'm exaggerating, but.
Yeah, you definitely are.
But you get my point. You get my point. You guys are beautiful. Absolutely. But, it's giving
Hey, but Mom, you still be, our pages ain't as bad as other people's, ain't it?
I'm sure it's not. I just,
I mean, we blessed and we showing what our mama gave us. That's what we're doing. It's like not like that though, but I mean we were blessed. It's Maya popping back. I was just telling Mom like we were just blessed. We were just blessed with
something's going on with Maya's connection.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway. So do we want, I think we're at the point, we did go a little over social media. There was so much more we could have talked about. But I do want to just kind of bring this in. And most of it has been a critique about social media and how it is unhealthy. And I do have to say that I stand, I lean more towards that and looking at how it can be unhealthy, how it can be toxic, and one of the most simplest ways, and how it consumes so much of our time. Mm-hmm. At the very least, the scrolling hours out of the day spent looking at your phone and on several different apps. There's so much more that we can be doing with our energy, outside of, what else could we be doing if we weren't scrolling, right? And then the morning, your first thoughts, your first, greeting the day has been programmed to, touch the phone and open an app. And just so that we're aware, just keeping it in the front of our minds that it's designed to do that, so that you're stuck and sucked in so many different ways to social media. So take back your time. So I'm definitely on that side of social media is more toxic than it is not. And I've seen that the conflict, even for me in engaging in, the things that I do in spirit and in nature, and the conflict that has with the energy of social media. So yeah, I'm on that side of it. Kaya, what about you?
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And relationships and friendships and love, it just gets murky. Just
yeah, definitely agree.
Yeah. We're going to try to wait a minute or two to see if Maya can come back in and add her closing comments about social media. One thing that I'm taking away from this, because although I have these critiques and I don't prefer to interact with people and my loved ones on social media, I think that I have also not done the best at doing it outside of social media, especially from, moving away from family and things like that. So I'm going to do better at that, because I'm not drawn to do that on social media, but I do love my people and I think about them often, and I just need to let them know that outside of social media.
Well said.
Yes, yes, yes. Interacting more, from a more genuine space. And how can we do that? Please, I'm going to put this request out here. Like I said earlier, when I say happy birthday to you on Facebook or wherever else, I'm gonna type it in. I'm going to be as genuine and authentic as possible and leaving a personal note. I think we may need to make an effort to not let AI or things replace us doing that for ourselves. Not clicking the automatic responses, but taking a moment to say, hey, it's your birthday. What's up? Happy birthday. What? Yeah. I was going to say something else, but I didn't go there. So yeah, I don't think Maya's coming back.
No.
No. Okay. Well, this has been fun. I'm glad that I do have this outlet on social media with my daughters to be silly and just have conversation. Okay, for Brian, I'm gonna listen to the whole part. Sorry, I miss and love you. Oh,
Hey, Nijama.
yes. Nia says, like you all said before, it's important to have what you have on social media in real life. Those interactions are genuine. Ashe, absolutely. That's the point. Thank you for bringing that back up. That whatever we're seeking on social media or possibly building, ever that we have those that interaction, that community outside of social media. That'll help us stay balanced there.
But yes, we appreciate everybody for joining as always, for listening, for sharing, for liking, for interacting, for connecting, for engaging. We appreciate everybody. We appreciate everybody. And thank you guys.
All right. Thank you. See you next time. Next episode, we will have a guest joining us. We're not going to actually, because we don't really know what the topic is going to be.
Or who the guest is.
Right.
We will have a guest.
We're going to have a guest.
We have a good topic as always.
So we want to bring some of our viewers on, our loyal viewers on, to join us in this conversation and share their insights as well. And, keep growing and engaging in the experience. So thank you guys. Have a wonderful evening and night. And we will see you Tuesday after next. Peace.
Bye.